Welcome to the collective, where you will hear, where you'll hear all things collecting and much, much more. I'm Zack Mo, also known as Ice Spice.
And I'm Collector, also known as not Ice Spice.
It was the first thing that came to mind. I have no idea why.
All right. Well, they call me Sir Mix a lot.
Baby got back.
First one that came to my head. Well, Ice Spice, why don't you tell us how was your weekend collecting?
It was pretty mid. It wasn't bussin', as the kids would say. No cap. What did I do this weekend collecting? Well, the week before, because I remember last week we said we were going to discuss that this week. I had joined the energy break.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled 2 EXs.
Killed it.
Gargankle and something else. So I won that ETB from
what's
you.
an energy break for the people that don't know? Talk a little bit more about what you were a part of.
So an energy break is you pay X amount of money. Usually it's for a whole case of booster boxes. You pick an energy, and whatever pack has your energy, you get the hit in the pack. And that is the beauty of an energy break. We didn't do a case. We did a booster box, which was stupid. Thanks a lot, Charlie. And I decided to join in because I hadn't ripped any stellar yet. So I thought, what the hell, why not? Pulled 2 EXs worth 33 cents each, I think it was. So I lost the loser gets an ETB on your stream specifically. Loser usually gets an ETB, winner usually gets free grading of the biggest hit. So I won the ETB. We ripped it. I pulled a Gargankle EX. I pulled, I think, 3 more EXs, and that was it.
Yeah, the ETB was really not a whole lot better than the break was for you.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And then this past weekend, I decided, hey, I have some spending cash. Why not buy another ETB? Bought another ETB. I can tell you I'm not buying ETBs. I'm not buying those. I'm just going to buy the 3 cards that I want, which are the Lapras Full Art, the Bulbasaur Art Rare, and the Squirtle Art Rare. Those are the only 3 cards I want. I'm just going to buy them. So if you're listening to this and you have those and you want to sell them to me, I'll even trade for them. I got some cool shit. I'll trade for them. But I am not buying another ETB for that. And you know what's going to happen. I'm going to wind up buying another ETB.
It's possible. So for me, I enjoy ripping Stellar. I think it's a phenomenal set. You've had really crummy luck with it. To be fair, I don't think you're done about your weekend collecting yet. But to be fair, you had excellent luck with Shrouded.
Yeah, I got 1 ETB and I hit one of the top 3 cards.
Yes, which is insane because I've ripped thousands of packs of Shrouded Fable and maybe hit 4 SIRs total, and you hit one on
I think you said it was your first time hitting that one.
It was. I mean, the set is brutal, bro. Absolutely atrocious pull rates.
So I'm just going to throw it out there. I will trade that to whoever wants to trade me a Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Lapras.
Lapras would be a really rough trade. That would not be in your favor at all.
Okay, a Lapras and either Bulbasaur and Squirtle.
That would probably be a little bit more fair. Lapras is very cheap right now.
I'm very cheap.
This is also completely accurate.
What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
I just know you well.
What are you getting at?
Anything else collection wise before I get canceled?
Collection wise, anything else? No. I got everything. I hadn't gotten an order from you in like a month, so you had a pretty nice little bin stacked up for me.
Oh yeah, there was a bunch of cool stuff. There's like top stuff in there.
There was top stuff, everything I got from the singles night.
Yeah.
So like a lot of like vintage I grabbed off of you. A lot of cool shit there. And there's some like donations from other people. Like Drew donated a Q font to me from I don't know what set. Shrouded. So that's a cute little elephant. He's just playing in the field. I like that card a lot. There's some other cool donos in there. There was supposed to be these 3EX donos in there, but they weren't. I don't know.
They're
I guess
your
user
bin of free
error.
stuff.
You didn't see them?
Your other bin of free stuff, most likely. Rick actually had an issue with his delivery too. I don't know what's going on with the deliveries. There's been some crazy issues with USPS, like especially in the Florida Panhandle area.
Yeah.
Tons of packages diverting to Puerto Rico before going to where they're supposed to go, which is really annoying.
I sent
Shipping
somebody a
stuff is a nightmare.
package. I sent somebody a package to California. This was going to Jimmy Shoes, who,
Mhm.
if you are a fan of our little podcast here, you've met him. He collects shoes.
And
I was
Pokemon and
gonna-
other things.
and Pokemon, yeah,
But we call him Jimmy Shoes.
yeah. I sent him a package going from New York to California. Went to Puerto Rico.
That's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't make
I mean,
any
it
sense.
did wind up in California at least.
Yeah, it does. So they always do. It just delays them. But that's weird. That makes no sense. Florida to Puerto Rico, I understand if they're like diverting around weather, but
New York to Puerto
to
Rico.
California, that's a very strange. Very strange. Must have ended up in the wrong bin, which also happens.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like sending a package. It goes through a lot of human interaction.
Yeah.
It's not as automated as one would think. I still think to this day, there is nothing in the world that's a better value than sending a letter through. Even though stamps just went up, I still think it is the cheapest service on planet Earth. I can't imagine there's nothing. Put in the comments if you can think of something that's a better value than sending a letter. I mean, stamps are like 72 cents each right now. I'm offering someone 72 cents to carefully move this piece of paper I'm in New Jersey, so from New Jersey to Alaska, and you have 5 days to do it, or I want my money back. That shit's insane.
That's a good deal.
That's insane value. So I can't hate on USPS too much, but they do be.
Well, not only like you say, like a lot of hands touch it. I think most people think that it gets dropped off at a post office and it goes directly to their post office, and it doesn't work like that at all.
No, it goes through so many different sorting facilities.
Yeah, I mean, you also have the airport facilities that it has to go to, and then it lands wherever, and then it has to go to a different one. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into how your packages get delivered.
Absolutely. The USPS has a smaller workforce, so their logistics requires many more transitions versus something like Amazon. They have a massive workforce. So they're
not even that. They also have fucking warehouses everywhere now.
Everywhere.
They've just opened one. There's a mall 5 minutes from me. I used to go there as a kid all the time. And they closed down the Kmart and the Toys R Us that were in there, and now it's an Amazon warehouse. So I get same day delivery. But
so sad. Toys R Us needs to make a comeback. But yeah, I mean, Amazon has stations everywhere, and they have like, so many different delivery people. They have their regular delivery people that drive like the Amazon EV vans, but then they just be delivering shit with like randos, like Uber Eats style. Like, hey, you want to deliver this for me? I got 6 hours. We'll give you $3 or whatever. I don't know how much they're paying people, but like they deliver with way less hands, which is why I think they have a much faster and more reliable delivery system. The problem though is that they mess up on the internal a lot, like the wrong items get shipped, or their returns are just atrocious for the people that are selling on Amazon.
Speaking of that, my friend just ordered boxes. She lives in Idaho.
Like empty boxes?
Yeah, like just cardboard boxes.
Okay.
Maybe she's moving or something. I didn't ask. She got Skull Candy headphones instead. She got
really
three pairs instead of boxes. So she paid I think she told me like $30.
Yeah.
And then she got all of these fucking headphones instead.
Yeah. And if she writes Amazon, they'll be like, "Oh, just keep them. We'll send you the boxes. Sorry."
I remember one time I ordered 3 totes. I don't know if you've ever been like in a CVS or something when they get their truck and they have these great totes.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
So I ordered 3 of those. They were clear for just storage. They sent me 13. And I made sure I looked. I was like, I better only have paid for 3. The boxes that they came in were so fucking huge.
I'm sure that was definitely a loss for them. That's funny.
Win for me. Now everybody has some storage in here.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had the opposite happen. I've never really gotten too lucky with Amazon. Normally they just send me less than what I order and I have to fight to get the rest of it. But I order like wholesale on a wholesale account. So I'm ordering large quantities of items. I remember I ordered 10,000 top loaders one time and I got 25 top loaders. I got like one individual pack of top loaders. I was like, I ordered 10,000. You shipped me 25. There's definitely
That's wild.
Somebody somewhere made a mistake. Like, I don't know if you scan the barcode on the single one instead of the barcode on the entire case, but like, this is a problem. But that be Amazon for you.
That'd be Amazon. So
Now
yeah,
I
that was
order
my
direct for top loaders. I don't order them through Amazon anymore.
that was my weekend collecting. Other than
Cool.
that, I don't think I did anything else.
All right. Well, it sounds like it was decent. I mean, you learned a lesson about the energy break. And for the record, I did not suggest a single box energy break. Tons of people do those. So if you're listening and you're not like regularly opening on live rip and ship streams, many people do single energy box breaks and make a lot of money doing it because you can make a lot of money on a break. I don't like doing single box breaks. I think it's
a reason that happened to me.
There's several different reasons. It's not a great value for the customer, and the energy, the hits aren't distributed evenly amongst the energies in a single box. There's also no real way to guarantee an even distribution of energies in a single box. My experience with cases has been typically they're pretty balanced. There will be, on a case break, there will be one loser, like for sure, one or even two people sometimes clearly underperform the rest of the field, but the remaining 6 participants are typically all pretty happy with what they end up with out of a case. When you
I've
do a
done
single
energy breaks
box,
with you before.
yeah,
I like the case breaks, and I've done pretty well, like you said.
yeah, single box breaks, you pretty much have one winner and 7 losers.
Right.
And I don't like that. A lot of people don't mind that, but that's not how I like to sell Pokemon cards, rip Pokemon cards. It's just not my business model. Like you'll see it a lot, like these like sort of high risk propositions. Like, you can buy this item that I'm selling for $200 and you're either going to get $0 or $300 in value. And I just don't like to run business that way. I'd rather like, okay, spend $50 and like worst case, you're going to get like $25. Best case, you're going to get like $100 or $150. Like I keep everything like more even, I think. And it's the same for energy breaks when you do a box versus a case. Like, okay, you're going to spend 30, but likely you're going to get 0 versus for a case, let's say it was like 120 or something, but you're likely going to get at the very least 5 to 7 pretty good pulls out of the case.
Well, I mean, I guess you can consider that I did get lucky in a sense that I did so terrible.
Yeah. You were definitely the top loser.
Right. So I got, an ETB, I only spent $30 and ETB goes for like 45.
Right. You just happened to also get a shitty ETB.
Yeah, I really did. So, I mean, otherwise, you think I would be like sort of a winner, but no, not that time.
Yeah, it just didn't work out that way. But that's the reason I put in the ETBs is because there's nothing worse than losing an energy break. So to distribute on a case, especially to distribute the cost of one ETB across 8 people is minimal. I mean, it raises the price of the break by like $5.
Right.
So everybody pays an extra 5, so that way the loser at least gets an ETB. Anyway, that's all.
It's not a Zack Mo ETB. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. All I can do is provide you a sealed ETB. What comes inside of it is up to Arceus, not me.
If you follow the stream at all, you will definitely see in comments when somebody has a bad ETB. Somebody will say, "Oh, that's a Zack Mo ETB."
It happens a lot. People say that a lot now. It's like an actual thing, like a total thing.
And the only time I ever do pull good on an ETB is Shrouded and Obsidian.
Yeah, which someone ripped. I don't think you were there on Sunday, but somebody ripped a bunch of Obsidian.
I was there the whole time.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't remember. I think Don was the person's name, and yeah, they did not do nearly as well.
I was gonna say something. I was gonna make a comment, but I didn't want to ruin my good streak of saying.
I think I had to give them like I think I ended up giving them a whole bunch of extra stuff. Like they did pretty poorly with their boxes of Obsidian.
Well,
You
that
just
wasn't
have
my
good
fault.
luck with Obsidian for some reason.
Obsidian likes me.
Yeah, and Shrouded.
And Shrouded, yeah. People be sleeping on it, and I just
Yeah, yep,
I
yep.
swoop in
You can buy all the Shrouded
and I
you
get them
want
good.
at dirt cheap pricing.
Sounds good. I have
Speaking
a
of
question for you.
pricing, go ahead.
Oh, that was my
Uh,
question.
yeah.
Great minds.
I
Are you
was
going
gonna
to tell
let
us
you ask.
about it?
I was gonna let you ask the question, but
Well, everybody is texting me right now, and they're all saying, "What's up with the market? Does Collector have a market update?" And I'm telling them, "Calm
oh,
down, calm down." I'll
that's
ask them.
funny. I'll ask him. He'll get to it right after he gets to the sub giveaway.
There you go.
The market is it's interesting, and I think the weekly review of the market, we're only going to see like major shifts at set releases.
Hmm.
The rest of what's going on, unless there's like a major manipulation that happens, it's all pretty much what you would normally see in a market. Especially for the next, like for the foreseeable future, we are in what an investor would call like a bull market state right now, where things are good. So almost all sealed product is progressing on a normal upward trajectory, slow and steady, nothing insane, nothing's doubling, tripling in a week, right? Like you're seeing 2% gains, 1% gains. But that's kind of like exactly what you want to be seeing if you're someone who is invested in this from a sealed product perspective. As far as singles, the biggest like crazy shaker and mover that I know of for the last week is the Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center exclusive Charmander promo. It's
Obsidian Flames.
Obsidian Flames. Yep, the Charmander only the Poke Center exclusive one has moved in this with this veracity, but that single is selling for like $80 right now for the Poke Center stamped Charmander, which is crazy in my personal
Is it
opinion.
going more sealed?
The
Do you think?
Poke Center. Oh, are you talking about just the promo?
Yeah.
So on TCG Player, there's no way to decipher that.
Right. That's why I'm asking if you think it's going for more sealed.
If I were to pull up all the eBay sales, I would bet my life savings that yes, the sealed ones would sell for more. I don't know the answer, so I can't say with any degree of certainty, but I would guess that yes, the sealed ones are going to be selling for higher.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a tremendously significant margin, but the preference would go to sealed. Now, that being said, graded copies of that card in PSA 10s are selling for over $500. So it's a crazy, crazy card right now.
So what is that doing to the ETBs?
The Poke Center ETBs are going up in price as well, and they're always more expensive. The Poke Center ETBs, they start out more expensive. They come with an extra pack. They're really not available at a distribution standpoint, so like your local game stores can't source them at any cheaper than the Pokemon Center website offers them, and your streamers can maybe if they do a big buyout, they can get them for cheaper, but they won't have them in any real quantity, more than a handful, right? Nobody's going to have 500 Poke Center ETBs that they got for 40% less than retail, unless they had some kind of theft involved or some kind of insane buyout involved. Generally speaking, Poke Center ETBs start out, I want to say like $64.99 MSRP. Ballpark, we can double check, but basically they start out higher than regular ETBs. And then the only real place to get them is either on the secondary market by someone who's reselling one that they got from Pokemon Center, or if you're a vendor or someone who's kind of plugged into the Pokemon community, you can buy one in a sealed collection and typically get it for a little cheaper because you're paying a percentage on that collection, but you usually have to take in a lot of other inventory just to get that one item.
Mm-hmm.
So from an investment standpoint, I personally stay away from Poke Center ETBs, or have traditionally. I am rethinking that. So for Sword and Shield, I have a position in Lost Origin Poke Center ETBs and Fusion Strike Poke Center ETBs. I have a sealed case of each of those that I got from the Pokemon Center website at regular price, and my hope is that they perform well over time. I generally wouldn't have recommended it, but after seeing what we're seeing now, it's not just Charmander. All of the Poke Center ETB promos are very expensive right now. Snorlax is expensive, like $50 or something like that. The PSA 10 is like 220. They're all going up for the most part. Even the Miraidon one, I think, is like $20. So they really, are doing well. A lot of those are still available. A lot of the Poke Center ETBs are still available on the Pokemon Center website as well. But the ones that are sold out, you're going to see them go up in price pretty dramatically if the singles continue to escalate in price. Otherwise, in the market, everything is pretty much status quo. 151 getting more expensive, Crown Zenith getting more expensive, Evolving Skies continuing to slowly get more expensive. Nothing like that I know of or noticed that's like, oh wow, that's a crazy jump. The only things that are kind of unexpected from in the last 10 years we wouldn't have predicted this type thing is that Twilight is still going up. That's very unusual. And Stellar Crown is also holding at a much higher price point than a set this young would typically hold. Normally it would drop as everybody's competing to sell their inventory.
Right.
So you have a first week out of the gate, it's pretty strong. And then it drops right after that, usually for a week or two, as all the smaller shops are trying to clear their inventory to recoup money. But we haven't really seen that with Stellar. It's actually gone up, a point or two, which is unusual. And Twilight Masquerade is absolutely outperforming any other set as far as how long it's been released and what it's currently selling for. Twilight Masquerade, very
Now, do
low
you think that's
supply.
still because of the Greninja?
Yes and no. I mean, at this point, it's beyond just Greninja. We'd be analyzing the total supply that hit the market. We'd be analyzing the volume of boxes that were opened. So sure, so let's say that let's just look at the boxes open thing. Like you could blame that on Greninja, or you can say, hey, we opened twice as much Twilight as we did Temporal because everybody wanted the Greninja card. And that might be true, but there's also the psychology of, hey, this is a strong set, so people just chase it just because it's a strong set. There's also the fact that it was Twilight shrouded and then Stellar, so we had that gap of an extra month with Twilight before we got Stellar. There's also the fact that as Twilight started to get expensive, people tuned into the fact that we are in a bull market and they started to see a lot of other stuff move. So they started to move in and try to take big positions on Twilight, which cleared a lot of the inventory out. So it's an extremely difficult to find set. Like restocking Twilight Masquerade is extremely difficult right now. And it just wasn't printed a ton. And unless we get a major reprint, we're going to continue to see very strong growth on that set, the same way we did with Paldea Evolved. Paldea took longer because nobody had any faith in Scarlet and Violet. Everybody said Scarlet Violet's terrible, which they also said for Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield. But at the time, everybody was saying Scarlet Violet's terrible, this set's terrible, these boxes are never going to be worth anything. So nobody in the very beginning took huge positions in Paldea Evolved. Well, then, by the time Twilight came out, Paldea had already jumped. So people are saying, well, if Paldea is performing well, and we're starting to see this set perform well, let's buy some. And then they're buying up all this Twilight Masquerade. And now nobody can get it. And I think the price of Stellar is kind of the result of that. The reason Stellar is holding so strong. It's me saying I love Stellar Crown, it's a really strong set, does not equate to how the market receives Stellar Crown. Me liking something and it being a great set are completely separated.
Right.
I just like it. I just really enjoy the set. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the strongest set with the best Pokemon and it's going to perform the best over time. What makes Stellar Crown investable and the reason it's high in dollar right now comparatively to where we would have expected it to be is the lower printing that's happening and the fact that both Paldea and Twilight never got reprinted and got too expensive for most people to move in when they normally would. Investors typically wait 6 months to a year after a set comes out to move in because that's when it'll be at its lowest price. when people are just sitting on what would be considered dead money, dead inventory. So they're just kind of like
Right.
dumping it to get the next stuff. That never happened for Paldea Evolved. And we're not expecting it to happen. From what we've been told, we being, the major distributors that I talk to, we're not going to see reprints like that. So people are starting to say, like, I'm just moving in on day one. Like, I'll take my entire position on day one and hold it. So it's a very interesting time to be, for me, like, to be buying and selling Pokemon. I've never been one to hold, but after what happened right at the tail end of Sword and Shield starting to blow up and me seeing Paldea start to blow up, like, at this point, I'm just buying more like way more than I know I'm going to need.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't even care if I'm sitting on extra, I'm just sitting on it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't like stress me out the way it used to in the past. Like when Astral Radiance was out, for example, and I was ripping Astral Radiance, if I had like 10 extra cases of Astral Radiance, I'd be like, I need to get rid of this product right now. It's going to take so long for this set to gain money, just because that was like the mindset. Like Astral wasn't a strong set and people didn't really have faith that it would go up. But right now, seeing the way the market's been performing over the last year with both Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, I'd rather just have extra than not.
Well, then what about Shrouded Fables? You were complaining that you had extra.
So Shrouded Fable is a specialty set. Think Shining Fates. Shining Fates, you can still find Shining Fates on shelves at like Target or whatever, Walmart, wherever you buy TCG product, like at retail. Very rarely now, but 3 months ago, Shining Fates was still pretty much readily available. Same with Crown Zenith. We just recently got the Sam's Club Crown Zenith product, right? Generally speaking, specialty sets are pushed into circulation for a very long time, and they take forever to gain value. Crown Zenith, this is like way more complex than I thought we were going to be talking about the market this week. Crown Zenith is theoretically totally underperforming the rest of the Sword and Shield market. And there's no reason that Paldea Evolved should be more than Crown Zenith. It just does not make sense. Crown Zenith is undoubtedly a better set than Paldea Evolved. So much better. It's a better set than Fusion Strike. It's a better set than Chilling Reign. It's a better set than Brilliant Stars. It's a better set, in my opinion, a better set than Evolving Skies. Now,
blasphemy! How dare you?
All of those sets have strong points, but if we're just looking as a set, just the artwork in the one set, these are the cards, these are the Pokemon available to pull, Crown Zenith is the strongest set in the Sword and Shield block. It's gotten a little bit more expensive. It's performing well, but it's moving very, 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 very slowly because the supply is tremendous and the demand has not been able to outpace the supply yet. It will. Crown Zenith will see a massive boom when the supply dwindles to the point where demand is outpacing supply, but that has not happened yet.
Right.
As we continue to rip Crown Zenith and people kind of forget about it and move to other sets and we're just kind of ripping it as like a secondary thing, that's when the supply starts to dwindle, when people kind of forget about it. And then eventually all of a sudden we'll have a new wave of collectors. Let's say after the holiday season, the Rocket set comes out or whatever, we bring all these people back in and they're like, oh man, I want Crown Zenith. That set looks amazing. People who never ripped Brilliant or Astral or whatever. So they will be the driving force for the growth in Crown Zenith.
I'm looking at Crown Zenith cards, and yeah, I agree. It's a pretty dope set.
It's an incredible set. The set is amazing. I mean, you have the 4 gold.
I mean, it has the Sleeping Mew.
Mm-hmm.
It has the Lapras, which I really love.
And it has 35 alt arts, or they call them Galarian Galleries, but they're alternate arts.
It has that gorgeous Thievul.
It is the best looking Thievul card we've ever gotten.
No, it is a good looking Thievul. It also has that Ditto, the Numel Ditto.
Yeah, I mean, and you're just naming like small cards in the set. It has Mewtwo V-Star, Charizard V-Star, Leafeon V-Star, Glaceon V-Star. These are big Pokemon. These are set-driving Pokemon.
This is a really dope set.
It's an incredible,
the Entei, the Suicune, the Raikou.
It has all 3 of the dogs. It has Arceus, Palkia, Dialga, and Giratina.
That
I can't
Luminion.
see it. It's too bright. Oh, I love the Luminion card though.
Yeah.
I mean, the set is amazing, and people will look back on it and be like, "Oh, why didn't we buy more Crown Zenith?" Because there's no way, dude. Like, you will not be able to rip in 5 years. There won't be another Pokemon set that you can rip that's going to recreate the same amount of hits and the same amount of like satisfaction as Crown Zenith will.
It is a really dope fucking set.
It's an incredible set. It's extremely strong. The pull
So
rates
there's a
are
Charizard?
fantastic. Yeah, there's Charizard V-Star. It's the Charizard and Mewtwo that are the opposites of one another.
Why don't I see it?
Maybe it was a promo. Might just be the Mewtwo V-Star.
I saw the
And then the
Mewtwo.
Charizard V-Star is the promo in the UPC in English, and it's in the Charizards in V-Star Universe, not Crown Zenith.
Oh, Crown Zenith is where I pulled the Dialga. No, the Arceus.
It has the regular Charizard V-Star. The other Charizard V-Star is the promo from the Charizard UPC. In V-Star Universe, it's a pullable. In
Right.
Crown Zenith, it was left out, and it was made the promo in the Charizard UPC. But it does have Charizards in the set. It has the Radiant Charizard, the regular Charizard V-Star, where the artwork was only in Crown Zenith. They didn't recycle the Brilliant Stars artwork. They made a new Charizard V-Star for Crown Zenith. And yeah, there's no way, dude. Like, there's just no way that you're going to like choose in 5 years what like Crown Zenith is going to be the set to rip. You're not going to want to go back and just do Fusion Strike and find Gengar or Mew. You're not going to want to go back and just do Chilling Reign to find Blaziken or Slowking, or just Evolving Skies to find an Evolution, or Brilliant Stars to find a Charizard. Like, Crown Zenith is the amalgamation of every single set. It has everything. It has Evolutions, it has Zards, it has Legendaries, it has Golds, it has all the trainers, it has everything. So
It really does. Like, I was just looking through it. It really
yes,
does have
it had
everything.
it was designed that way. It's 12.5. It was designed to be a celebration of the Sword and Shield era. And they took all the best cards from Sword and Shield, recycled artwork for commons and uncommons, and just put them all in one set. All the best cards, all the highest performing cards, the most played cards, the Bidoof, for example, very playable, right? And the issue is that the set has just been available. Not issue, it's a good thing. This is a good thing, a healthy thing. The set's readily available. You can still find Crown Zenith at MSRP. Shrouded, that set sucks ass. I just ranted for 15 minutes about how good Crown Zenith was and all of its redeeming qualities, and it's still relatively cheap. Shrouded is one of the worst sets I've seen in my entire collecting. The Persian is incredible. The Houndoom is incredible. The rest of the set, I couldn't give a shit if I ever saw those cards again. The Cassiopeia SAR, I don't like the artwork on it. I don't like the Cassiopeia full art. I don't like any of the SIR versions of the legendaries. I do like those Pokemon. I actually like, for example, like the Okidogi art rare, I think was done very well, but I
hate
hate
those Pokemon.
SAR variations of them. And if I have to contend with 5 years of that set being pumped out because it's a specialty set,
You're gonna give up?
and it's super weak, I do not want to have extra of that set. That's the one set that I don't want to hold. I'd put money in any other set over that.
Yeah, I'm looking through it.
Scarlet Violet base set is 20 times better to park money than Shrouded Fable. Scarlet Violet base set's going to have way better return on investment.
See, I don't like this set personally because I don't like the those legendaries, Monkey Dory, Okidogi, Pheasantipity. I'm not a fan of them.
I like them as
mm.
standalone Pokemon. I don't like the artwork. I don't like the direction they went in with the SARs. I think Okidogi's art rare is how that Pokemon should look. Like, and maybe that's just me, and like, obviously people are entitled to whatever opinion they want. But
Oh yeah,
I
that
love,
art rare
like,
is 10 times better than the
way
SAR.
nicer, right? It's like bright
Yeah.
green. He's got like drool coming out of his mouth. He kind of looks aggressive, but at the same time, it's still kind of campy. Like, that is how I would like to see Okidogi as a Pokemon, not the SAR. The SARs are weird. They're not spectacular.
All three of those art rares are much better than the SRs.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. Monkey Dory is kind of like painterly. It's got like blues and purples. They could have done something great with an SAR. I like it as an art rare. The Okidogi, had they textured that could have been a standalone SAR in my opinion. Had they textured it, given it silver borders, and maybe spruced it up a tiny bit, put another Pokemon or two in the background, made it a more dynamic scene, that could have been an SAR. Versus
Yeah, I
whatever
agree.
this nonsense we have with just like Okidogi's face zoomed in on.
Yeah, I really don't like that card at all.
Not good cards. And so I am out on Shrouded, and I've been saying that I will rip it for people. I have it in stock. I'll have it in stock for the next 3 years because it's just not going to sell. And
It's
I'll
also like
happily,
upside down.
yeah,
I'm very
the
confused by
whole
this
thing, the
card.
whole set. Yeah, the whole set is very strange. The Persian is like one of the only redeeming factors in the set. Unfortunately, it's expensive enough that people want to rip the set trying to pull the Persian. And the Houndoom is also incredible. And both of those cards will be expensive at some point because nobody's going to be ripping Shrouded. The population is going to be low on those cards. So eventually, Shrouded will be worth money to open because people will do it as a chase just for those 2 cards. But it's going to take so long.
10 years.
I can recycle, I can utilize that funding for so many other things that are going to be way more fun to open, which
Crown
ultimately
Zenith.
is what I care about. Like as a business owner, for me, if I'm not enjoying what I'm opening, I don't even want to bother ripping it. I don't really like, I'm more of a churn than sit and invest. There are people out there who just sit and invest. They just buy it and let it sit. And then they sell it when it's appreciated enough and rinse and repeat. And they're much slower pace than I am. I'm sitting on a case of products, not 50 cases of products.
Right.
So for me, I would rather have a set that's fun to open. Like everything I have. Oh, there are very few products that are in my sealed collection that I wouldn't sell today. Like I even list a lot of them at a price that, okay, if you want to pay a crazy price for a product, that's fine. I'll rip it for you. I have it right now. You pay the premium, I'll rip it and I'll replace it. But yeah, Shrouded is just not something I'd be just as happy never having it at all.
So, all right, I'm gonna bring up another topic that's sort of in the same family. There was a leak of the terrestrialized Pikachu from Surging Strike. Am I getting that right? Surging Strike.
In English, it'll be Surging Sparks.
Sparks. Close enough. Same thing. Spark Strike. I'm not a fan of it.
Okay, I understand that sentiment. I don't disagree with you at all. I'm trying to find the.
I think all
Japanese name.
Personally, I hate terrestrialized, whatever. I don't know the correct terminology. I hate terrestrialization, if that's the correct terminology.
Yeah, I mean the easy way to say it would be like Tera Pokemon. That's kind of
Tera Pokemon.
Shorthand.
Okay. So like I recently started replaying Violet, and in Scarlet and Violet, that's like the main thing. Like we had Mega Evolutions, we've had Dynamax, Gigantamax. So if you're unfamiliar with the games, Terrestrial Tera Pokemon is the new mechanic. I get it. It's fun for, your Charizard's a fire type, and now you terrestrialize him and he's a dark type. So all the dark moves, so much better. I get it. It's a good mechanic. The artwork on it is a fucking miss. I hate it.
The Tera artwork is what you're referring to.
Not so much just the artwork. I mean, like even in the game, I just hate the way it fucking looks. I get it. I like the mechanic. It's cool. I hate the
crystals.
The visuals, what I was going to say. But yes, I don't like the visual of it at all. It's not appealing to me. I think it looks goofy. It looks fucking stupid. And I hate it. It's fucking stupid.
I don't disagree with you. First of all, before I forget, the Japanese variant is called Super Electric Breaker. That is the name of the next Japanese set. So we had Paradise Dragona, which is out right now. Incredible set. We're loving ripping that one. Oh, you might not like it. I think it's phenomenal. It's been a great set for me. I love Paradise Dragona. Second half of Paradise Dragona is Super Electric Breaker. We're going to take both of those sets together and release them in the US, and it'll be called Surging Sparks. So Surging Sparks will have the Latios Chase, the Latias Chase, and you clearly just don't like Latios and Latias. Those are beautiful cards. And it'll also
They're nice cards. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm being biased. They're not my favorite.
That's fine. You don't like them. That's not a big deal. That like The other one, the Latios, where they're like this, like next to one another that make the heart, like that's like a huge card. Like,
Wait, before you continue, I do just remember something that you pointed out on stream the other night that actually made me think about it. The Latias and Latios do come together, and I didn't know that, so I do kind of like them a little bit more now that I just remembered that.
Yes, they're a picture set, much like we have with several other artworks throughout this this era, which I like. I think it's really cool.
Agreed.
Okay, so here's the second thing. The first thing was the name of the box. Here's the second thing on terastallization. And then I don't want to forget about this, so bookmark, we got to talk about our Pokemon of the week. But
Oh yeah.
terastallization, I had this sort of epiphany today when I saw the Tera Pikachu. I also reacted negatively when I saw the Tera Pikachu. I know there's
stupid.
Pikachu fans that are going to love it, and my personal take is that it's not great Pikachu artwork. I think there's way cooler looking Pikachus out there. I don't like the regular EX. I saw that as well. I'm hoping we get an SIR that looks fantastic. We will get an SIR variant. We just don't know what that looks like yet.
Right.
So I got to thinking, like, why don't I like these Pokemon? Is it because of the terastallization? And my answer is no. I really like Terrapagus, the SIR, like a lot. I also don't mind Lapras. And
that card, like I said, was one of my chases. It's a really good looking card.
Yep, I don't mind that card. I didn't have a negative reaction to Cinderace. And so
I don't like that one.
And the Greninja, although it's not like a top 5 card for me all time, I don't hate it. I hated the first few Tera cards. Charizard, the first couple Tera Charizards we got. Ugh. As a Charizard fan too, like I hated them. Now the Obsidian one I can like tolerate if I pretend it's stained glass. But in general, I just totally did not like that card at all. And I don't like the Pikachu. And I don't like most Terraform Pokemon, right? Like I'm thinking of Mewtwo EX in my head, that yellow Mewtwo EX card. Horrible. One of the worst Mewtwo's we've ever gotten. There's so many cards where they terraform like a Gen 1 Pokemon or like a major Pokemon. And I'm like, this card is ass. So I think the newest Pokemon, at least this is my opinion, maybe the field will share it with me because it seems like Terrapagus was received pretty well, like by the general public. The Pokemon that we don't have sentimental attachment to, or like a picture in our head of what that Pokemon is supposed to look like
over the past 20 years.
Exactly. Those Pokemon will perform well as Tera cards, such as Terrapagus. Lapras looks just like Lapras, but has like a couple crystals here and there.
Yeah.
The Pikachu, like it's too far of a diversion. The crown takes away from the way the Pikachu looks. It just doesn't look like what
it also doesn't look like.
I
mean, if you look up Pikachu terastallized in like the game, the crown doesn't look like that.
Right. Oh, the other card was the Galvantula.
They gave him a fucking sombrero.
It's weird. I don't like it. But I loved the Galvantula SIR that's in Stellar Crown.
That's the yellow. Oh yeah, okay, I like that one.
Spider. And when I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, why do I like Galvantula? Why do I not hate Cinderace? I don't hate Lapras, and I love Terrapagus. Galvantula and Terrapagus, I don't give a fuck what they look like on the card. I'm just interpreting the artwork.
Right.
I don't care what artwork you decide to depict Galvantula as. Right? Like I don't have any kind of attachment to Galvantula. That card looks sick. Same with Terrapagus. That card looks amazing. The artwork is so awesome. Now, if Terrapagus was like cemented in my head from when I was 10 years old as like a specific look, it would be a totally different reaction.
100%.
And I don't know.
They also did a really dope job on the Galvantula art. That just looked really cool.
I agree, but people like kids, for example, who are collecting, love the Charizards. They're like, "Oh, that's so sick."
Yeah, well, they don't know shit.
They don't have that same picture of Charizard that we have, right? Like they just aren't attached to the artwork that we grew up with. They don't know the joy of opening the Arita Charizard. You know what I mean? Like they don't. It just doesn't do the same thing for them because they weren't attached to it. And when we step away from Terra and move into whatever's next. We don't know what's next yet, but whatever crazy evolution comes after this, right? Supposedly we're going to revisit Mega, but there will be something new. There will be a departure from what we've always known, and Pokemon will come up with a new mechanic. We'll again struggle to say, why does Charizard look like that? Because that's not what we think Charizard looks like.
I disagree. I disagree because when I first saw, let's say, the Mega Evolutions, Charizard has the two. He has the Dragon type and the Fire type of Mega Evolutions. I didn't think that they looked stupid, even though
They're super badass.
Right. I think what's different about the Tera Pokemon are those dumb fucking crowns. I think because if you take
I don't
Charizard
disagree.
and you make him now blue or whatever color the dragon one is, and he has the fire coming out of his mouth, he looks fucking awesome.
It's blue and black, but it looks exactly like Charizard, just a different color,
Right.
and
It's
has like
still
a little bit of fire.
Same thing with the Mewtwo. Mewtwo looks
right,
more intimidating now,
right,
but it's still Mewtwo.
It's not a departure from the artwork that you were used to. It's just a slight variation.
Right.
I think
so. Now I have
Tera, they like redefined what the Pokemon was supposed to look like.
Now I have a fucking Charizard with a goddamn lantern on its head. Literally a lantern.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. It reminds me of like the Crown of Thorns, like just really strange artwork.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And like it's not even like they reimagined like Mega Evolutions are these Pokemon reimagined into a better form, in my opinion. It's not even like they're reimagining, they're just throwing this thing on top of their head and turning them crystal looking. And it's goofy and I hate it. Like if you look at the Ghost Tera, I don't know, are you familiar with that one?
Which ghost? What?
Like I mean just the like ghost type Tera form. The crown that they get.
Oh, not I can't like picture it specifically.
So it is it's the ghost if we're going all the way back to blue and red that you encounter in Lavender Town in the tower. That silhouette of that ghost is what's on their head.
Okay. I'm gonna look it up.
It just looks fucking goofy. I don't like it. And I mean, yeah, that's just probably just my opinion. There's definitely somebody out there who loves it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm sure
I see it. I see it.
It's goofy looking.
It looks very
I know Pokemon's made for kids, but
so that's the thing, right? We were kids and people were like, Pokemon's goofy. What is this? Right? So we'll see how well this ages over the course of time. But in the immediate, I struggle with Terraform Pokemon. And I don't disagree with your sentiment that it's not a great mechanic as far as that I take
no,
that's
I think
not the right word. That it's not a great art
visual
representation. It's not a good like visual look, despite the fact that it's a cool mechanic and a strong mechanic.
Right. The mechanic I don't mind. I think that's a very cool mechanic. Like I had just battled the grass gym leader and they throw out a Teddiursa and you're like, okay, I can easily beat a Teddiursa with like what Teddiursa's normal types, like a fighting type. But then they terrestrialize into a grass type. So that kind of throws you off. I think it's a cool concept.
Right.
They just dropped the ball. Yeah, they dropped the ball with the whole artwork. That's just like my opinion, man.
That's what's up. If you saw yesterday's episode of Kill Tony, you would understand that reference. This week's episode of Kill Tony was fucking incredible, by the way. The best, worst episode I've ever seen. You should definitely watch the entire thing. Okay. Let's move to the Pokemon of the week.
All right. They're still blowing up my phone and they want to know the highlight of this week. I just can't keep them back.
I don't want to forget. And I think this week's is super dope. And I also, at some point, wanted to transition directly into it. And I can't remember why now. There was something you said. Maybe I'll remember it as we go along. But this week, we're going to discuss one of the saddest origin stories in Pokemon history, Cubone.
Oh.
Cubone has such a lonely origin story. And it's tragic, really. A lot of Pokemon have tragic origin stories, but Cubone's is for sure top 5 most tragic stories. So the Cubone skull that's on his head is the skull of its deceased mother. And that's
I
in
know.
almost every Dex entry throughout all the generations, right? What I always thought was like cracking on the skull, that's erosion of the bone due to his tears that he cries at night because he's longing for his mother. He sees his mother's figure in a full moon and cries. And get this, he can't even mourn in peace because when he cries, it creates a vibration in the skull that attracts wild mandibuzz from the sky to swoop in and attack it. Which
Take the
is
fucking skull off.
Cubone's never taken off the skull. We've never seen a Cubone face. There's only one Pokemon card where Cubone is using the move Growl. It's an old Japanese vending card. He's using the move Growl, and you can see from his nose down to his chin, which is more than you can see on any other card.
I've never seen
So
that.
it's I can screen share it at some point when I find it. So there's a lot of fan theories on Cubone. The one that's more prominent, I think,
Charmander.
as a fan theory is that a Cubone is a Charmander that never had its tail lit, right? A lot of people kind of know that theory, and that the skull is the skull of dead Charizard. So the reason that theory holds water is because Cubone has like this latent fire energy. When it evolves into Alolan Marowak, it has the power to control fire. So basically, a Cubone represents like a Charmander that hasn't figured out how to use its fire energy yet. While there's another theory that says Charmander eggs can become Cubones if the mother Charizard dies before lighting the tail of the baby Charmander. So then it just is instantly a Cubone. So basically, that people think that Cubone is like a flameless variation of Charmander.
They got the same stomach.
There's another theory that Cubone has to be born under specific circumstances to become a Charmander. Basically, it all comes down to the fact that like the mom doesn't light the tail on fire, which makes it a Cubone as opposed to a Charmander. And I knew that theory before I looked into everything about Cubone today, and I had heard that, and I probably even talked about it at some point on stream. The theory that I didn't know, which actually makes more sense, is the Cubone Kangaskhan theory. So, Cubone was said to be the abandoned baby of a Kangaskhan. You know, Kangaskhan has a little baby in its pouch,
Right.
right? So, there's a few things that support that theory. For one, the sprite for Cubone looks identical to the sprite for a baby Kangaskhan. In the game code, if you look at the two sprites side by side, they look pretty much identical. There's also in-game pairings of Cubones spawning in the same spots as Kangaskhan's. And there's a theory that's supported by code that was found in Japanese versions of Red and Blue, the original ones, that was supposed to be a 3-stage evolution: Cubone, Marowak, Kangaskhan. There's code for that in early form games. So basically, the theory is that Cubone's a baby Kangaskhan, and it wears the dead Kangaskhan's mom's skull. And basically, there was supposedly there was this original plan for it to be a 3-stage evolutionary line.
I'd like to add to that theory.
Go ahead.
When you think about it, Marowak, if I'm remembering correctly from the the Indigo League anime and shit, it was sort of like a petulant teenager. They were always angry.
Mm-hmm.
They're always, abrasive or whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. They were a teenager. And then coming into motherhood as a Kangaskhan kind of goes with it.
I don't disagree at all.
I do like that theory.
I think the Cubone Marowak Kangaskhan theory is probably the one that makes the most sense. There are several things that support the theory. The biggest one being the fact that it's pretty much in the code for.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good evidence right there.
Yeah, I don't know it specifically. Like, I don't know enough about coding to say how it ended up in the code or anything, but that was pretty convincing evidence for me. I'm trying to find. I had one other thing I wanted to talk about Cubone as well. while we're waiting, put in the comments what you want the next Pokemon we talk about to be.
Make it cool and interesting and fun, and not Lucario.
Oh, Cubone was in Super Smash Brothers Brawl, which is dope. Also, it was in Detective Pikachu, and it attacks the shit out of Jack, or not Jack.
The main character.
Tim. How I forgot
Is that his name?
Yeah, his friend's name is Jack.
Fuck?
So okay,
he was supposed to be his first Pokemon that he catches.
Yeah,
he goes to throw the ball at it, and then he attacks the shit out of him. That is funny.
So Cubone was originally known in the red and blue betas. Its name was Orphon, Orphon.
Because it was an orphan.
Correct.
I'm smart, aren't I?
It was
apparently
created out of the thought about how sad it would be for a Pokemon to die, which is kind of crazy. It's a combination of the name is a combination of the words cub and bone, which is shown in the move that Marowak uses, its signature move, Bone Meringue.
I thought it was Boomerang.
No, Bone Meringue.
Mandela effect. Used to be Boomerang.
And here is that card that I was referring to.
It's so sad.
I know, man. Cubone is extremely sad.
It just wants its mother, but its mother died.
Yep. And
now
while
it's a chubby little Charmander body.
While I have screen sharing going, I'm gonna pull up the sprites of Baby Kangaskhan and Cubone right next to each other.
Now, if you ask me, okay, well, I see the positioning of them very similar. I mean, it's literally copy and paste.
They're identical. The sprites are identical.
Yeah, but that fella over there on the left, the Baby Kangaskhan, looks like Cranidos.
Yeah, I can see that. Like the top part of the skull, a little bit like Rampardos in nature. But look at the mouth, the way the nose curves into the mouth, and then
it's copy and pasted.
Look back at this card. Like look at the nose and look at the mouth here.
Yeah, 100%.
So I always used to be a fan of the theory that it was a baby Charmander, but I can't get behind that anymore. I think now
it's definitely a Kangaskhan.
I definitely feel like Kangaskhan. So super fun for me to research that one. I literally learned something I had no idea about in the Pokemon universe. I really enjoyed.
And I learned something too.
There we go. Learning is fun.
You can't remember your own name.
Yeah. This is true, sadly. But that was this week's Pokemon topic. Or Pokemon highlight, I mean.
Highlight.
And we've already been at this for an hour. So
I think we should get into some rankings.
Yeah, let's just go straight into
our
rankings.
Favorite part of the week.
It's a topicless. The topic was topicless.
Topicless. You're hurting my brain. What?
We didn't really have much in the way of a topic. We just talked a lot about Tera.
Market. Yeah. Well, no.
And market, yeah.
I think it was a pretty good topical week.
I think it was great. Overall, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was very, very fluid.
Shoot. What week are we on?
Sword and Shield. No?
I don't remember. All right.
Hold on. I think it might be in my notes the last.
Oh, yeah. I should have it too.
I don't know. While we were both looking, because we were both idiots, why don't you tell us how you thought our conversations went this week? Because I thought they went swimmingly. Where's Bruxish from?
It's Sword and Shield. We did Sun and Moon last week because we did the Tapu line.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tapu Fini. Yep.
All right. So we are going to, one at a time, generate 10 different Pokemon and blindly rank them on a list in positions 1 through 10 without knowing what the next set is going to be. And at the end, we either hate our list or don't mind our list, depending on how the Pokemon gods generate the list. So, first Sword and
Usually they
Shield
haven't been
era
very nice.
Pokemon is. Oh, I forgot to do the things. Form type, default, evolution, fully evolved. Okay.
No.
Cinderace.
Not now is not. We're not doing fully evolved right now. Because
No.
remember, this is no fully evolved is only for our battle.
All right. Well, fine. Milcery. Damn, Cinderace was such a fire one too.
Yeah, it is a fire Pokemon.
Well, we're not counting it. We're starting with Milcery, right?
Correct.
All right. Next, Morgrem.
Okay, I spelled it right.
Sobble.
What is Sobble?
Whoops. Looks like some kind of
Amphibian
creature. Colossal.
Cool. Well, you're still figuring it out.
Ice Face Ice Cube. I didn't know there was a non-Ice Face Ice Cube.
Hold on. Okay.
Grim Snarl. Grimmsnarl. Obstagoon.
I hate most of these.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Dottler.
My list is funny.
Arrokuda. Oh boy. I set myself up for failure here.
No, so did I.
Come on, number one. Oh my god.
Shout out Greedent.
Shout out Greedent. That's funny as shit. All right. Well, womp womp.
Starting from number 10.
Starting for number 10, I have Dottler.
I have Milcery.
What? Milcery was number 1 on the list. Like the first one we generated. You auto-tend Milcery?
Yeah. Because I didn't think about how much I hated Sword and Shield era Pokemon.
Number 9.
Ice Cube.
Oh, Arrokuda.
Yeah. You can tell where this is going on my list. Go
Number
ahead.
8.
Grimmsnarl.
I have Ice Cube.
Grimmsnarl just scares the shit out of me. I don't like it.
I'll explain more on Grimmsnarl when I get to Grimmsnarl on my list.
Okay. Number 7.
Sobble.
Morgrem.
I know Sobble's loved by some, but I don't like Sobble.
That's fair.
Number 6.
Obstagoon.
Milcery.
Number 5. Sobble.
Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl, I dislike as a Pokemon, but Marnie uses Grimmsnarl. So
wow, so it's really mid.
He got bumped up from number 10 to number 5, actually.
That's wild. You switched this all around? Oh no.
What do you mean? I would have put, if Marnie didn't use Grimmsnarl, he would have been spot 10.
Yeah. Gotcha. Number 4, Colossal.
Hey,
Jink.
We got one.
Number 3,
Morgrem.
Dottler.
I think Morgrem's super dope.
It's an emo fucking teenager.
I know. I love Morgrem. I think it's an awesome idea for a Pokemon. And I like Impidimp. They're both like creepy as
Do you
fucking
like
awesome.
to go to Hot Topic? That's just all I hear when I see
I did when I was younger.
So did I, but whatever. This fucking emo hair, scene haircut. All right, so 3 was Dottler for me. 2 Arrowscuda.
Ugh, Obstagoon for me, which I'm fine with. I love Obstagoon.
Why? Let me guess. Marnie uses Obstagoon.
Well, I think Obstagoon's fucking rad. He reminds me of Gene Simmons. I think it's an awesome Pokemon.
But doesn't Marnie also use an Obstagoon?
Yeah, but that's not why. I like Obstagoon regardless.
Sure. Put in the comments if you really believe him on that one. And number 1, we both have Greedent.
Yes, we both have Greedent at number 1, sadly.
That's not sad.
Greedent's definitely not the number 1 on that list.
Shout out Greedent. I don't even think we could put a team together here.
Oh, yeah, we got to try to put a team from these. Holy Nikes. I can put a team together.
I could put somewhat of a team together. Let us know what kind of
What
team
6 would you put
together
on a team? All right, I can put 2 together.
All right, I have a team.
Oh my god. Wow, this is really, really tough, but given the circumstances, I got to take.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it as much, my team, because I feel like I could do work, but I don't like them. Even though I just said I don't mind them. I don't mind them, but I don't like them. If that makes any sense at all to you and our lovely, lovely
Man,
listeners.
who the hell am I taking for number 6? All right, I guess. I don't know. This is a weird-ass battle party.
All right. I am going Grimmsnarl, Obstagoon, Colossal, Arascuda. Did I choose somebody?
Aracuda, but
that's what I said. Aracuda, Ice Cube, and Greedent for shits and giggles.
So I don't have Greedent or Aracuda. I took Sobble and Morgrim in their places. I think Sobble for sure over Greedent. Morgrim, Aracuda, it would probably be a toss-up as far as strength goes.
It would be Aracuda.
I don't know. Isn't Morgrim stage 2?
Yeah, isn't Aracuda a literal barracuda?
Yeah, but it's so basic.
Yeah, well, we eat it and cut its fucking hair.
Morgrim would cast some kind of weird spell on it.
No. All right, now we're doing all 8.
All 8
fully
gens,
evolved.
Fully evolved. Default form only. 15 Pokemon, and we're taking a battle party of 6. Hopefully we get a great holy cow, that's an awesome randomization. All right.
Ew, Gengar?
So for those of you that are only listening, the Pokemon we have to choose from on our 15: Jolteon, Magearna, Drifblim, Zapdos, Gengar, Turtonator, Noctowl, Swalot, Tangrowth, Torkoal, Shedinja, Kecleon, Torterra, Walrein, and Excelgor.
Can you scroll up a little bit so I can see the top row again? No. If you guys are wondering, he didn't scroll up a little bit. He scrolled up a lot of bit. Thank you. Yeah. Yep. 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 Got him. Let us know who you would take. Because we'd like to know, and you guys never tell us, but we want to know.
It's true. Nobody ever comments. The sticker's got comments.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you offered something free.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm the cheap one.
Damn, who do I take as 6?
Kecleon.
Probably not going to be Kecleon, I'll tell you that right now.
I think you should take Kecleon. Maybe Torkoal.
Torkoal's already on my list.
Wow. Why?
All right, I got my last.
Okay. You go first this time.
Walrein, Gengar,
Okay. Yep.
Zapdos,
yep.
Torkoal, Torterra, and Noctowl.
I take all the same except for a Noctowl and Torkoal. I take Turtonator and Swalot instead.
I could see Turtonator. Turtonator was either
Dragon Fire.
Yeah, I was either Turt or Torque. But Swalot over Noctowl? I wanted flying.
You had flying with Zapdos.
Zapdos takes the lightning spot for me.
but it takes your lightning and flying.
Yeah,
and
but you can't.
swallow.
What if you can't? What if you can't use them twice? You know what I mean? I debated actually taking Zapdos and Jolteon.
That's too much. Swalot, you got poison.
I also debated Driplim,
Hmm.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm good with my team.
I'm good with mine.
1v1, I don't know who would win. Turtonator, Swalot, Torkoal, Noctowl.
I have no idea.
I don't know either, but that's okay. I like that team. I liked that. That was a good generation of 15.
Generation or generate?
Like it generated 15 good ones.
It was a good generated 15.
Well generated.
It was a well generated, well oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why I took Gengar though. I mean, he's so mid.
Gengar's a goat, and you know it.
Look what I got.
Oh yeah, you got a Gengar sticker. I actually
very
remember grabbing it and throwing it in, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this is a Gengar. I don't give those out." And I was like, "Ah, it's Zach's package. It's fine."
Yeah,
I already have that one on the laptop.
I'm leaving 3 of his EXs out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I ripped them up. Actually, gave them to my dog.
Why?
Because I don't like you. Mainly was my motivation.
You trying to make me cry like a Cubone?
Can you believe those freaking things? Those indents are from tears. Holy shit!
Makes sense.
I thought it was just cracks in the skull.
Well,
That's sad, man.
no, it's just a sad little guy.
Yeah.
Without a mommy. And he gets to watch Kangaskhan with its baby in its fucking pouch, just
that's
roaming around.
Messed up part, yeah.
And now it's just a little orphan. Little orphan Annie.
Little orphone.
Orphone. That's a fucking stupid name. I'm glad they didn't do that.
I'm glad they went with Cubone. Cubone's better.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you everybody for listening this lovely week. Yeah, make sure you put the battle party you will take. You guys
do it
too.
For the battle party. Do it.
Also, I learned something last week. You can comment on Spotify. So if you're listening on Spotify, there's no reason why you're not commenting.
Yeah, do that
other than you hate us.
Yeah. Get some engagement going.
Yeah, engagement. Share us with your friends because you have them.
All right. Well, thanks for another incredible episode. Like, comment, favorite, share, subscribe.
Comment.
Zaboomafoo.
I have been Zack Mo, a.k.a. Ice Spice.
And I have been Collector, a.k.a. Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Baby got back.
Bye.
Bye.